High Vibe Nation is live. Welcome to the High Vibe Nation, where we have set out to raise the vibration of every human being on the planet. Your hosts on this journey are Gideons and Pamela Aubrey. So let's join them now in their current interview with a high-vibing individual.
Hello and welcome to the High Vibe Nation, a revolution of love. It's time to rise and live your best life now.
Welcome, everyone, and a very special welcome to our friend Adora Evans. She's the author of the book Majestic Money, the 30-day Femme Manifesting Game, and she has led thousands of people throughout the world with her expert teaching to Femme Manifest, spiritual living, all while adding more fun so they can live their own sacred expression. And so as a seasoned entrepreneur, she went from a boarded up home with no electricity at 18 to working with celebs on the red carpet. And we're going to jump into her story and learn more about how all of that happened. So welcome, Adora.
Thank you. Thank you. And I love being in the High Vibe Nation.
Yeah. So great to have you here. And of course, you know that we love to talk about being high vibe. So tell us what it means to you to be high vibe.
Oh, high vibe. I think gratitude. I think love, play, joy, surrender is high vibe. Yeah, creation, inspiration, all the good, juicy stuff. Sexy. Sexy's high vibe. Yeah.
Love it. So let's start out. I mean, my God, there's so much to your story. We want to know all about you. Tell us a little bit of how you got your start. I mean, from the beginning to where you are right now with this amazing new book that you have out.
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm excited to be here with you ladies. I just want to thank you for what you're doing on the planet. It's so important for us to stay in high vibration, and it's a practice and it's an environment, and we create an environment with our connection and tuning into things that elevate us there. So I just love what you're doing. And I love Yeah. So, yes. So the people, the story people love to hear, I think, because we love just knowing stories, right? Is that I was living in a boarded up home with no electricity. And instead of buying or paying for my electricity, I invested in an Herbalife Distributor Kit. And at the time, I was 18 years old. I had already been divorced, married and divorced in high school. I was supposed to be Bible Club president, but I was supposed to say prayer at graduation. I ran away with another guy in the middle of the night. And I'd been molested age 8 to 12. I'd lived with friends from the age of 15. So when I got that distributor kit, the home I was living in, it didn't have sheetrock, and it was a great family, let me rent it for $50 a month. And it was on stilts. And, life was looking pretty grim because it was a small town. And, once you lay your reputation down in a small town, it takes a bit to recover, become, or reinvent. And so, hello, Christopher. It's like Captain Sparrow there. So that's what I thought of just in the peripheral. Yeah. So,
he's a great Captain Sparrow, though.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, I'm gonna just have to stop reading the comments. I'm gonna be like, all right, yeah. So, what was so cool is that I found Jim Rohn in a cassette tape on my Walkman, and that moment with Jim Rohn in my living room changed everything for me, because he basically was saying, "Look, you're going to arrive. You're in a metaphorical sailboat. You're headed in a direction. You're sailing in a direction, and you're going to end up at this destination. And if you don't know where that destination is, look at where you've already been, look at the choices you've made, look at, you know, how you grew up. And I thought, oh crap, you know? And then he said, but you can set your sail in a new direction. That's all it takes. And you'll end up at a different destination. He said, it may take you longer than other people, but you will get there if you just don't give up. And that lit this fire in my heart, and every cell of my body, I knew like, wow, there's something possible that's different for me. And so with that, Jim Rohn also said, go find mentors. And I thought, oh no, how am I going to do that? And then he said, the library is full of people that have taken their life's wisdom and they put it in a book, and you can go to the library and get it for free. And so there was something else that he said, and he was basically like, look, if you don't believe in yourself, but you're buying into what I'm saying, then believe in my belief in you. And so I did. Just everything in my body was like a yes to that. And I read 75 self-development books that year. I had my first $8,000. It was just under $8,000 check. Thank you, Christopher. It was just under $8,000. It was a one-time only because I still had some things to learn about leadership and consistency. But what it showed me is that if I just stayed the course and kept applying what I was learning, that life could be different. And it was a little, like I always say, it was like the stock market on an uptrend. Like, it's not like it just went straight up. It went down hard and up high and down. But overall, you could see a climb happening. And so I always thought in that moment, just one day I could do something, if I could inspire someone and be in a book and write a book and just help people the way that this person and all these people that I fell in love with right after, you know, Tony Robbins was my next guy. And I read all the greats, Louise Hay and Doreen Virtue, everybody I could get my hands on their books or their audios. And so I've manifested so many crazy things, from, you know, stripping in a nightclub, because that happened later. So I had an up, got married again, found myself, you know, leaving a relationship, and the jazzercise outfit that I heard wasn't that far from their waitress outfits. And then I just progressed into dancing. And when I found myself, I'd been, someone there put Rohypnol in hot tea and raped me, at this kind of dark moment, but also one of those monumental, like, something's got to change. Like, that's the thing about crazy moments like that. They put you at this crossroads where you either go, okay, I am seriously done, or, you know, you could take them another way. For me, it was a done moment. And I was sitting with, I can't see you ladies. I'd love to see one of you. There you go. It's so weird. I'm like,
I feel like you're talking to yourself.
Because like, hey, Adora, you're looking. No, I love myself, but I love seeing your faces. There.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening is I read Think and Grow Rich. And in that book, Definite of Purpose, I wrote down, if I could do anything, I would love to interview successful people like Napoleon Hill, but be paid for it. And hi, Tressa. And so
Tressa's here.
All the vibes, all the vibes. I feel like
we got our ladies here. We got our women here, Adora.
The hair flip. If you're there, like, flip your hair. Yeah. That's high vibe for sure. Okay. Yeah, so it was so crazy because no one knew. Hi, Cindy. No one knew that I wrote down that I wanted to be paid to interview successful people. A guy called me and said, hey, there's a job I had in my 20s. You'd be great. I can get you the interview. You're going to have to pass the test. So I buried that I'd ever been a dancer. Yeah, dude, flip your hair.
Flip your hair too. It's okay, Chris.
Or like, you know, shake it, do something. All right. So it was so cool because I got the job, and my job was interviewing CEOs of 10 million plus companies. and my name ran as a producer on the Discovery Channel for Pat Summerall Productions. So I was just like, keep giving me this stuff, because what I learned is, yes, life's crazy. Things are going to happen. Someone's going to throw, the COVID at you or something. Life happens, but with the right tools, with the right vibration, with the right focus, with a continued, focus, that we really are co-creators of reality, that you can set an intention in your heart, no matter how far it seems. And if it's really aligned with the truth of who you are, you will find the way, or really it's like it finds you, so that just put me on this whole journey. I got this nickname as the celebrity connector. I got to work with Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy.
Wait, so just to pause for a moment. So you're 18 living in this house, just like voraciously reading, and like all the wisdom of these people from years and years of teaching.
Yeah.
That's really remarkable. And so then you step into this new role.
Yeah. Well, and at that new role, I was probably like 23, because I did my network marketing thing, got married, got divorced, became a stripper in a nightclub, had another eye-opening experience. And then I'm not even done with Think and Grow Rich. And I'm interviewing these people, and the turnover rate there was crazy, because, people just weren't accustomed to calling CEOs, and it's not the same. But I was reading Og Mandino, The Greatest Salesman. I had all these books about CEOs and their minds. And I was, and I would visualize Pat Summerall speaking to me and like, hey, go get a great show produced today. And I wasn't even done with the book. So for me, I was living this incredible dream. It didn't feel like a task I was just coachable and, doing the deal. So yeah, it was pretty incredible. And from that, the skill set that I learned there, Pam, that, opened up people calling me and saying, hey, if you want to be able to get through the gatekeeper to someone influential, she's your go-to girl. And at first, those were all the, Dennis Waitley, Dan Millman, Shakti Gawain, Jan Levanzant, all the What the Bleep Do We Know people. And it just, it's funny because here we go, talk about Greg Reed, Sherry, and manifestation and the power of your words is that at some point, Greg Reed, Dennis Waitley, different people were saying, okay, Adora, well, what can we do for you? And I was like, I don't know, but when I know, I'll let you know. And so Greg and Dennis, through some brainstorming, I think Matt Morris too, I ended up getting the nickname Celebrity Connector. Hold on. Woo!
Bless you.
Yes, I'm healthy. And thank you, Cindy. I'm healthy, but I just had a tickle. So Celebrity Connector is the nickname that they give me. But at that time, my celebrities were Jim Rohn, Brian Tracy, Louise Hay. And then I end up living with Elaine Hendricks, who she was in What the Bleep Do We Know? But she's also the stepmom in Parent Trap, and she's now in Dynasty. I mean, she's been an actress nonstop, superstar, the on and on. She's been a regular actress. And while I was there, I ended up meeting a designer randomly and walking red carpets regularly, working with different celebrities, dressing. Got to dress Rihanna, Katy Perry, Cher. We were when the peace signs came out again in 2006, 7. That was us because she started the Peace Gallery, and we were putting peace signs in Entourage, on red carpet. Yeah, and so the Celebrity Connector, because they nicknamed me, that ended up calling me forward, right, into the world of what the world calls celebrities. I do too, but even though it wasn't my intention, that's how powerful.
Let me step up I want to point that out, what you're saying, because literally the same thing for myself. I'm in Las Vegas, 1997. I too am living as a stripper, doing those things that I thought that I needed to do in order to make money so that I could, have more freedom in my life, how I could support my children. And then fast forward, the same thing, very much like yourself. I have a near-death experience. I'm walking homeless on the streets, and I'm living in the library. And I'm doing the same thing very much as yourself, reading, 75 books, one after the other. And then all of a sudden, all these people are showing up in my life. But the one thing that I like to say that was really the deep down cause of it all is I started to dare to be myself. Yeah. I started to pull up from within me more joy, that feeling and vibration of more laughter and more happiness. And I think that it was from that awareness of being that more in myself is what attracted, just like yourself, the Greg Reeds and the Bob Proctors and the Mary Morrisseys and the people just like yourself that have shown up in your life. And would you say that's very much what was happening inside of you? You were being from this higher vibration of joy?
Yeah, so I do. I'm so glad you brought that up because yes and no. Okay. Right? So because when you start there, it's not like, yes, I choose the baton of joy. And right. It's the place that I stand all the time. No matter what. It's like, I wanted that, and I had pockets. And so whoever's listening, I think that's one of the most important things to know is you don't have to get it right all the time. Right. You just have to find those pockets, and anytime you think about it, yes, dare to be true. Anytime you find space that you're aware and you've got to plan it, right? So I was planning with my affirmations, with listening to things, and then the other, 90% of the time, all the old stuff was going on in the background, right? Yep. Meeting myself, right? So you don't have to be perfect. In fact, I would say some of my biggest manifestations, they didn't happen because I was consistently suddenly a rock star at being high vibe and amazing and getting it right. In fact, it was probably more like 90% in the shiz. It was fertilizer, by the way. I love y'all love Van Zandt. If the shiz is piling up, it's because the nice plant, the stuff is about to grow for you. But there were pockets that I got it right. And that's one, it gives me chills because there's so much grace in the world for us. The world is meant for us to evolve and grow. It's our nature. So you don't have to get it right all the time. Just when you find a pocket that you can just make it bigger and be there in the moment. When you're in the bath and you go, I'm irritable. Okay, what can I do to relax a little? Maybe it's the warm water. I'm just gonna, that feels so good. I'm so grateful for the warm water. If you can just find a space to blow up bigger, or squeeze into, it was really that, yes, I was nurturing those things and I was taming my wild mind, not taming, domesticating, but the negative thoughts I was replacing. And it was still probably the majority of the opposite. Yeah. But all it took was a one good pocket and boom, a major life leap would happen for me, right? And then, over time and consistency, the beautiful thing that happened is that I went from, say, 15 years ago where I'd have to be I love you. Oh, but that cellulite is really, I love you. No, I love you, girl. Oh, why did you do that? Why did you do that? You're so dumb. No, I love you. You're beautiful. You're smart. You're brilliant. Where now it's like, I look in the mirror and I'm like, ooh, you are fly, girl. Like there's less now because of consistency.
Yes.
I have a way of being that is more consistently high vibe, and I still do the stuff, to nurture it. So thank you for that. Not always up and can find a positive moment when needed. Glad to know that those bad. Yeah. And the bad does not, like, a good pocket can just wash and clear and open so much space. So, we've got to release the things that aren't serving us. We've got to be, graceful with ourselves, know that we're training a new mind. And so it's okay if, it's not always like, but then you have practices for getting in there, right? You have practices. And Sherry, like you, for the big leaps, like writing my book. Thank you, Cindy, for like the big leaps for like writing my book. That had moments of pure terror that came up, like fear of rejection, fear of not getting it right, fear, like all this stuff that before my story was like, I'm just not ready. Like an angel is going to come and shake me and move through me, and then a book's going to arrive. And then one day I realized, like, no, to be a writer, you've got to sit down and write, and then do that consistently, and then the stuff will come. And I've certainly had those wild, inspired moments, but during writing the book, there was a whole new wave of fear, of terror, of like, why do I feel angry and like I'm going to pass out? And oh, it's because you're scared you're going to be rejected, and you're bringing your life goal and dream to the table, and just taking that little girl and going, it's going to be all right. I love you. You're safe. And using the tools of like, I say my affirmations. I listen to them every morning. It's like 30 minutes. I call it a body prayer. I listen to it while I'm working out. During those fear times, I would like shout them, and listen to them and pray over my walls. And like, I had to do a lot of extra stuff. And so I'm saying that to say, again, it's even with all the work, even with amazing experiences and evidence upon evidence upon evidence that I'm called, supported, loved, even after thousands, hundreds and thousands of hours of stuff going into my mind, I still had moments and still have them when I wake up and I'm not being who I want to be, but that's okay. It's about then I stop and go, okay, what do I need to generate myself right now? Like, who do I say I am? And then I'll stop and be like, right now I claim my radiance in the middle of chaos. And I know that as I claim that I'm worthy, even though I feel like shiz right now, that I'm claiming it on behalf of my daughter, that every woman who feels this way has the right to be blessed, to eat, to thrive, to travel, to love. And I choose it right now, right here in this space, And so sometimes it takes more than others. And over time with practice, your natural way of being is that high, like, I have more confident thoughts these days than not. Like, I truly see myself as so sexy. Like, I'm like, am I just getting sexier, or is my mom? I am on both sides. Yes, I am getting sexier, and at the same time, my inner wisdom and all that, journey of like everything you said, being myself, loving myself, and then the practice of and then even with all that, all you need is a good little pocket, right? And you can shift everything. So it's not about perfection. Yeah,
I love that, because I think, we do, like, we want to stay in that space. And part of it's because, good things happen in that space. So you're like, I just want to stay in that space all the time. But I really think that you make a great point that there's a lot of value in not being in that space. because it actually helps us to expand. And we're always in that process until, we're not here. I think that's I think that's really beautiful to just it's like we can allow ourselves to just be.
Yeah, and the one major thing that allows us to let go of, because this was a stopper for me sometimes, is like, oh no, I'm not in that space. How do I get myself back in that space? Right. And all of that is like, I'm not good enough. I'm not there yet. Oh no. It's like its own kind of chaos, and it feels different for everyone, but it's more of the same of like, you're not there yet. What's wrong with you? You got to do this. You got to diet on Monday. You got to stop eating chocolate. You got to, it's all that.
Yes.
Shitting.
Exactly. Well, it's so funny you say that, because I always like to look in the mirror, and I like to talk to myself in the mirror. And the girls, my twins, are always saying to me, "Who are you talking to?" And I'm always talking to myself, and I always say, "You know what? Thank you for this. Thank you." And I have this new saying, because I have this new mentor that's come into my life, and Pam's life as well, and he's just an amazing person. But one of the things he has us saying now is, in that moment, say, I know your name. It is love. Return to your original position. Go upwards. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Because he teaches us that this divine arrow is always going straight. That's the divine purest self. It's the blue energy. It's going straight up. But we hit these roadblocks, which we call it the green stuff. And he says what tends to happen is when we hit this roadblock, where here's the blue energy going up into a roadblock, it wants to go back down. So when you just say to that part of yourself, I know your name, it is love. And we return back to the original position. And I love, like in your book, how you talk about these sorts of things. Like, the game, the manifesting game is all about having these practices that you've set up. And I mean, I've read through that book, and I'm just like, whoa, this is so right on, dialed in. And then you take it and you activate it with what I call a prayer treatment, which, in religious science is a prayer treatment. And then it activates you back in to that divine self, that pure self.
I love it. Thank you for that acknowledgement. It's been so fun to see something that I created because I needed it, because I desired it, which those are the clues, right? When we follow what we love and what we need, to show your magic. Sexy after 60.
Love it, Trasa.
Girl. Yeah. I love, just like you're focusing on high vibes here, whenever I'm focusing on manifesting and creating as that God self that we all are, I'm more intentional, and magic just keeps flowing and flowing and flowing. And it's kind of like the thing that if you start eating cleaner, and then your body feels real great, and you're really paying attention, and you see your body chiseling, and you're energized, and your skin's clearing up. And then you get a little loosey-goosey with it. And before you know it, you're still doing pretty good, but you're a little sluggish. And, the jeans are little. My daughter, I put on a pair of these shorts. She was like, Mama, how are you going to get in those? I'm like, give me a month. I've been enjoying it.
On the kids for honesty.
That's true.
It was pretty funny, but yeah. So manifesting is the same way for me. It's like I'm a passionate person, and I think passionate people, wherever we are, it's like it's gonna be big, So if wherever I'm focused, it's gonna go. So the Majestic Money game, I've had so many crazy manifestations. Everything, like without a college education, everything from dancing for Telemundo to walking red carpets to senior writer for a fashion and art magazine in Egypt to penthouse on the beach, with a maid, a chef, a company car. And all of them were like a good pocket. I found a good pocket where I was just playful and like a little girl, like, wow. And I wasn't even in planet mode. It was really, and not even in like, okay, it's time to create my reality. You know, it was just like, I'm just inspired and I want to write like what would be really fun. And all those times I think I had actual colored pencils or colored markers and I was drawing and then boom, like amazing major life leaps that I couldn't, like, oh, you're a producer on TV and you were a stripper a month ago, you know, oh, and none of those were through connections of because I knew someone, or it was really like the designer. I just walked in her store and I didn't know she was sitting there, and I was eyeing to someone and she said, sit down, let me read your astrology, I want you here, you know, like they were all really wild things. And so I love when I'm focused, right? And so I love helping people focus. And when I'm reading other books, because I read as many as I can, I'm always like, man, it's over. Like, I don't want it to be over. And so I thought, wouldn't it be great if there was this 30-day game that you could do again and again? And at the same time, I was learning the difference in my femme manifesting energy and my masculine manifesting energy, which I love both so much. But my masculine was like the go make it happen, you know, learn how to do a podcast, learn what learn all the tech stuff. And I rely on that part of myself so much. But the femme, man, she can just bring, it's just like, she just is. And like magic happens. It's like divine masculine is just like, I worship you, but here, you want roses? I look at her like, bring me the diamonds, you know, bring me the,
bring them on, bring them
I
on.
love that.
Like, I love that part of myself.
And I love both parts. Like my masculine part wants to climb, you know, the mountain and feel the sweat, and then and my feminine is like, I arrived in a helicopter and there was a muscular man feeding me strawberries, you know. Like they're two different, they're both beautiful, but the most amazing things, those, like, I never would have imagined it so beautiful, that came from my feminine, playful, beautiful. And most people don't know that there is a femme manifesting. And they also, as women, when you don't know that, it's like, but that's the machine you came in, you know? So once you learn it, it's like you are on super charging.
Well, and isn't that kind of like you're like getting into your flow, right? I mean, it's kind of like really allowing yourself to just be you.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. As a woman.
Yeah. As a woman. And it starts with that deep, deep self-love, because it's in that body. Like I love to say, I love to get, if you're a woman or a man, you haven't thought of your femme energy, which everyone starts as a woman in the womb or female. And then, you know, there's some weeks that go by and then you go male or female, or you stay female. Is that through a woman's body, we are the original portals. Like a spirit comes from nowhere, lives in your body, and then becomes a physical walking thing, like clay. You know, like if you're thinking of, oh, here's spirits floating around, you know, and then you get to squeeze into a body. Well, that happens through the portal of a woman. A woman is from the other world to the physical world. It's through her body. So in our DNA, there are these codes for how do you bring spirit into reality, whether it's a child, an actual child, or a, you know, vision of something into physical form. And so it's so beautiful. So when I think part of it is with women being taught for different reasons to disconnect to their bodies, whether it's because we want you to buy our makeup or our Spanx, which I love Spanx, you know, I really do. So I'm not knocking them. And I love makeup, obviously.
Yep.
But there's been millions of dollars meant to make you feel like you're not going to be good enough or cool enough until you go purchase these things or look a certain way.
Yeah.
Right. Or right. And so then add to that the sexual abuse and the physical abuse that's happened. And when you take then women going, I'm a white woman wanting to look like Kim Kardashian, or I'm Kim Kardashian wanting to look like Sherry Gideons, then so I love what we're doing. I mean, it's obvious in advertising that we are awakening, that we have all these body love campaigns. We have Barbies that are different figures and have different hair types. We have these natural hair products at the sisters. I don't know the politically correct way to say it, but we're coming a long way, right? And that is showing. And whenever, as a woman or man, you are hating your body or jumping out of your body, then you don't have the access to those inklings in your body that are meant to tell you, hey, come over here, go over there. And a major part of femme manifesting, at least the beginning of it, is recognizing like, hey, this is my temple. This is my manifesting portal. The secret to the whole universe and creation right here. I'm going to love this body. And again, you only have to find pockets, good pockets, to get that revving. So it's so interesting. And it's one of my very, very favorite things. And Sherry, you and I really connected on, how similar our stories were, but how, when a woman is free financially and when she is abundant and taken care of, she takes care of not only her children, but other children. She builds schools, she feeds families, she forgives, people, she's, campaigning, and she's generous. And so, women receiving their financial abundance and freedom and peace is so activating for manifesting and opening their voice, opening their hearts, opening their wombs, and coming home to that. I love you no matter what you look like. I love you. I love every freckle. I love every dot. I'm committed to you. I'm your number one fan. I worship you, adore you, celebrate you, care for you. Like, that alignment is such an activating agent. And it is it's one of the core messages in my book.
Well, so let's talk about that for a second, because we have, for those of women that are in our audience who are really wanting to understand manifesting, that, like one of our audience members, she wants to know more about manifesting. Can we talk a little bit about what's in your book that sets a woman up to be able to start manifesting these sorts of things that you're sharing with us, the fun, the play, the wealth, all these things that we really want instead of what we don't want?
Yeah. So part of it is, I'm going to intuitively say it's a core message in this. Whoever's listening to this is remembering that you only need a small pocket of time, right? So whenever you can find a time and make it good, whether it's as small as what I talked about earlier, putting your hands in warm water and appreciating it and feeling it and allowing your senses to be present and grateful in that moment. And then celebrating, I just had a freaking pocket of high vibration, beauty, love. Know that it only takes one of those. And then when you put one with another, and you may string it together just by going, look at you just enjoyed yourself. And guess what happens when you're doing that? You're in celebration and gratitude. And there you go again. It starts there, because ultimately, our lives are going to be their little moments strung together. So you string a little moment with another moment, with a moment, you have an hour that flies by and you're like, wow, that was the best hour. I just came back from this little road trip, and it was lots of little moments with my dad, with my nephews, snacks at every stop for my 9-year-old, her talking in accents. And we did a little tour of all these fast foods one night. Like, we're going to go to Burger King and order whatever you want. Then we're going to go here. Then we're going to go there. And she was like trying out these accents and then going to French fries, like messing it all up. But she was like cracking up, right? And so it was all, and then staying on the river and hiking in the rain and looking up at the trees and giggling, and all those moments put together. That was a 3-day, 4-day epic road trip. But guess what? My life for those 4 days, I can measure and go, wow, what an amazing life, right? So it starts with recognizing, manage your little moments, manage the little pockets, instead of going, I'll be happy when there's $1 million in the bank. I'll be happy when my soulmate is here. No, you won't, because if you're not happy, guess what? But if you get a soulmate, you're going to be like so bitchy. And he will be too, because you're going to be like, now I wish I had a house, or I don't know. It's going to be something else, right? Because it's the way of being. And that way of being, that's how when we manage our way of being, our vibration, moment to moment to moment, now you create a quality of life. And that is the real measure. Like, was I peaceful? Was I happy? How did I feel today? So then when the $1 million arrives, you're not like, you've already got a practice, a neurological practice, an energetic practice of gratitude, of love, of generosity, of peace, with or without the money, right? And so the vibration is happy, and you have that consistency regardless. So that's number 1. Then 2 is knowing those high ideas that, look, if there's a God, the masculine, there's a God, the feminine. If there's male, female, in whatever version of God, look, and we're in that image, then look around. There's male, female, everything, right? Yep. So as a woman, this is what God in feminine form as a woman looks like. So accept that, and like, wow, this is what divinity as a human being in feminine form expressed looks like as Pamela, as Sherry, as Tressa, And so accepting that and committing to, I'm going to be my number 1 fan no matter what. Like, I'm going to have my back no matter what. Like, I've got you. Like, this is the body you're sitting in, the soul you've been assigned, the identity you've been assigned. That is your assignment. That's your core assignment. So like, get out of everybody else's business and get into your own house. And like, am I caring for her? Am I loving her? Am I nourishing her? Am I feeding her? Am I thrilling her? How am I taking care of the one soul I've been assigned first and foremost, right? So get back in your own body. And like, you're going to be like judged. It's a heavy word, but like, that's who you're assigned to. So start there, and managing the moments, and then playful imagination. Like, allow yourself, I call them imagination stations, Yes. So yeah, I do. And so there's one for the book, right? And if they're really good and it's something I really want to imagine every day, I'll record it on an audio and listen to it every day. And it's just an imagination station. Like, sit down and like, okay, wouldn't it be really, really fun if I got to go to several beaches this year, and I got in a private jet, and I love to imagine my clothes. So I'm like, I'm going to have this white suit on. It's going to look really good. And the shirt's going to be low cut, and my hair is going to be back. And I love the white suit image in a jet for some reason. But just allow yourself to play. And like, that whole Abraham Hicks says it really well. Like, wouldn't it be fun if, like, instead of I'm going to create, how do I create that I'm a New York Times bestselling author that has a $7 billion company that's, please speak it. Yeah, I am speaking it right, Sherry. Yes, Lord.
Yeah.
but
Hallelujah.
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 I'm from the South. That hits my soul in the right place. But it's that playful, just imagining, like, wouldn't it be fun? It would be so much fun to just be in a ball gown that sparkled in the sky, and yourself to play. Like, wouldn't it be fun? And without having to know how, and without having to see the clear path, and then allow yourself the clear planning sessions. That's our masculine. So, there are certain times you may get the message, don't take any action, listen, wait. If you're in that space, then listen and wait. Don't take any action, right? But for most of us, it's like being able to balance that playful imagining pocket and then go, and at 8 a.m. I go to the gym and I work out because I love muscles, right? And then I'm going to do a podcast every week with the High Vibe Nation because I say I have a podcast that impacts people in the world, right? So there's the part of you that, or all of us, that takes those actions consistently toward our dreams. Like if you say you want to be a New York Times bestselling author, then commit to writing, and write, show up, and spirit will appear. So take actions. But here's the femme part, is like sometimes when we're too far in our masculine, we will drive, and we'll grind so hard and get so tunnel laser focused. Like, I've got to go to college to become a journalist so I can become a writer, so then I can do, and then like you put all these roadblocks in for yourself when spirit's like, no, I'm gonna have you be a writer for this magazine, and you'll be a producer without ever going to school,
College,
and so that's that imagination. Like it can't come in without you being willing. So one of my prayers is like, Spirit, give me the eyes to see, like give me the vision, to expand my territory, like give me the imagination in my heart, give me the openness. And that's the fun and play again, because when we're in fun, play, surrender, gratitude, we're open. When we're in, I've got to make it happen, or I'm scared that it's not going to happen, or I'm angry, you can feel it. You're constricted. You're shut down. This is mine. That's yours. You over here, me over there. It's a very different feeling, right? So
yeah, and to that point, I mean, why do you think, because I feel like a lot of times people are kind of afraid to let themselves play and really go into that imaginative state, because it's like we've kind of been trained not to do that in a lot of ways. And so how do you kind of encourage that for someone?
Well, and let me just raise my hand and say, I'm the queen of like, serious, go, like in my heart, I am naturally playful and joyful. Like my highest self, I love to play, right? And so somewhere along the way, for different reasons, I could probably spend energy validating the why. We all have different reasons. We're taught to be serious, or like, if you don't get it done fast enough, it's not going to happen for you. Or like what I used to do is like, I'd manifest something and it's almost like, I'd be like, yeah. Oh, okay. I've got it from here. Now hold it. Go. Don't let anything happen to it. I've got to grip it hard because I got this once in a lifetime. It's never freaking going to happen again right? So so that's part of why it's a spiritual practice for me. It's why I needed to write a book. Like Our Misery is Our Ministry, right?
Hold the book up for a second.
It's got that mirror image, Majestic Money. But it's a spiritual practice for me to play. right? Because when I tell the joke that I remember taking my daughter to Six Flags, and my intention was for us to have a great day of play, right? And she was probably 5. And I'm like, Zaina, come on, go. We've got to get in the car so we can go have fun. It's like, oh, and then I kind of saw myself, and it's like, wait a minute, what is the core intention? Which is that back to managing the moments, because if I'm angry and bitter and driving her all the way to Six Flags where we're going to show up and have fun, any parent knows it's going to be a few hours before you actually unwind enough to have fun. Because even there, they're probably going to, if you're already in that mood, it creates momentum, and you're like, no, you can't have the soda. No, you can't have the, we got to stand in the line. It's just, it becomes an energy. It's an energy. Like fun is an energy. Peace is an energy. You want the money and the business. Why? So you can have more fun. So you can express yourself. So you can make a difference. So you can enjoy. So the way to that is that. Like the pathway to love is love. The pathway to enjoying your money is enjoying the money. So learning to manifest, because you can work hard and get the money. Did that at Disney. So much fun. Oh, yeah. You can get the money. You can get the things, and still it's if you get it in an uptight place, it will remain uptight unless you have an aha moment and go, you know what? I'm being really uptight with my money. I'm going to relax and enjoy what I've created. So, there's an energy to it all. And I think, New York probably represents America in the most get it done. But we've had a whole culture of, achieve, even like going and getting your juice and your yoga is, a low key, like, look at what an achiever I am, that I slept 8 hours and then I this and I did, right? So, and I think that misses the whole thing, because it's like, why do we even want those things? So if you know why you want them, and this is a pretty common exercise, knowing why you want them, and then you be and create that now, then by the time it comes, and it's very likely to come faster when you move into that being space ahead of time. But even if it didn't change the speed, even if you could go will your way, because you're a very strong-willed person, with a fierce masculine, if you could will your way to the soulmate, to the body, to the car, the house, the vacation, it's like, who are you going to be when you get there? And is it going to be like that staunch curled lip or angry lip, or the uptight wound up face, or is it going, because that's who we just are who we are. And so,
well, and it goes back to that saying, you got to be it before you see it. And I just love, spot on. One of the other things that I liked about in your book is how much you reference the queen that we are.
Yeah.
And that speaks to me so clearly. And I was hoping, because we're getting so close to the end of the hour, one of the things that I was really hoping that you would agree to, because I just adore how you do it throughout the entire book, is that you would activate that queen in all of us. Would you do that for us? I have the chills as I just said that, because of how you do it and how powerful it is in aligning us all with that in ourselves.
Sherry, that moves me so much. And anyone watching, thank you for that. I'd love to. And so let me preface it by saying that every single woman, you are a queen. You have been given a queendom that is all yours. You've been given a life force energy that is meant to grow and flourish. And, you know, everybody has in her queendom all these gifts and tools, and it may be like, okay, you need to figure out the wheat's over there, the gold's over there, but we all have it. And my absolute belief is that we're in partnership with divine masculine, adored and loved and nourished, and every woman deserves to feel and know at the deepest levels herself as that queen, and to wake up as queen on this planet. So here we go. Let's go ahead and go into this. I like to close my eyes so I can sense my body and my energy. And I'd love for you to place a hand on your heart and a hand on your womb. And just take a nice deep breath into your body. I want you to imagine pulling all of your own sacred energy, the energy that Spirit gave just to you, the adoring, loving Spirit that said, hey, I want to bring this beautiful life into existence. All that love that knows every hair on your head gave you a certain amount of beautiful energy. I want you to imagine pulling all of that energy, the energies that's meant to nourish your queendom, your goals, your dreams, your vision, your voice, your family, your legacy, your life, pulling that energy in like beautiful light cords, pull it into your brain, allowing that love energy to just flow through your brain. It was meant for your brain, not for the past, not for any other dimension, not for any other worry, any place that it is that it's not meant to be. We're calling that energy right back into nourish your brain. Now bring it down into your throat. That loving energy meant to activate your voice, your message, your story, your truth that is so important, that is so valuable just because it is, just because you are. Just because you are, like any beautiful baby you've ever seen, just because you are loved. That love energy, feel it taking space in your throat. My voice is opening up as I feel it. I feel your opening. Bring it into your heart and allow it to just pour that love energy. See it filling up and feeling up. Down into the center of your stomach, bringing that love energy in, your sacred energy, into your womb. And imagine a small spirit version of yourself, which is huge, but imagine standing inside of your body with your hands out and looking at the temple, the sacred temple that holds you, that brings you about, that allows you to express, to love, to make love, to climb, to sleep, to touch, to taste. This sacred temple that is yours. Imagine just looking around in there and going, wow, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, thank you, I love you, I love you, I love you. And now I'm going to call in our highest selves, the ancestors, the God self inside of us, the divine masculine, and just imagine that we're surrounded by this highest energy. And as we as queens across the world, I call in our divine highest energy, that inner genius. I call in the lessons in our DNA. I call in our own sacred expression. And I right now activate at a cellular level our own inner queen, our own divine knowing, our own wealth, our own wisdom. Our wisdom is our wealth. I call that wisdom open. Our wisdom is our wealth. As we share our wisdom, our wealth comes to us. It's coming right now. I call in confidence, joy, love, peace, laughter. And right now, in this moment, with my declarative power, with my sisters, Pamela and Sherry, and our own powerful intention, and every woman and man who connects with us right here, right now, I declare We wake up as the queen that we are. We declare our love, our life, our wisdom, our joy, our right to thrive. Our bank accounts plentiful. Our love, our peace plentiful. We release anything that no longer serves us with grace and ease. And we allow ourselves to shine bright. We see miracle after miracle. And we say, today is the day that we took on a new level of self-actualization in harmony with divine light from our highest selves as the queens of our own queendoms. We send that love across the globe right now, raising the vibration with our intention. Seeing love, 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 love all around the world, every planet that surrounds us, so we can make it even bigger. And so it is.
And so it is.
So it is.
Woo! Oh my God. Wow. Brought me to tears.
That's so powerful.
Wow, girl.
I started pouring with sweat, and it's cold in here.
I can feel it everywhere. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank
felt the heat?
so much.
That was amazing. Just tingling, just all throughout my body. So beautiful.
Wow.
Yes.
So we're at that time, my beautiful friend, and I am just absolutely so enthused, so grateful, just so filled with the gift of you and shining that back on all of us, shining that gift of love on all of us. Share with our audience how they can get your book, where they can go, the name of it, show it up on the camera.
Yes. So Amazon, you can go to AdoraCrystal.com and the link's right there. Or Amazon, if you look up Majestic Money, the 30-day Femme Manifesting Game, it'll come up. And you can get the ebook right now for $3.33. And you can get the book for $18.88. Here's what I love is happening is that people are starting book clubs and they're using it to increase engagement. I learned it from a Facebook master, and she did it with her group, and they start the game together, post the day. If you choose to do that, reach out to me at AdoraCrystal.com, or Sherry's tagged me on social media. I'll record a little video saying, I'm so excited that you're reading along, and I'll say your name, and then I will do a Q&A for the first 10, as many as I can, if it's beyond 10. But yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
Gosh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here. Such a joy to have you on, and such a joy to have all of our listeners, all of you out here with us today as well. It's always just a blessing to us to be able to share stories and information out with you. So thank you again for being here with us.
Yeah, you ladies are amazing. Soul Tribe, shining the light all over the world.
Right.
Dance.
Like all our friends always say, Sherry, dance. I should boom.
Oh yeah.
Remember my sugar boomy boom boom. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much. You can find us at our website at www.thehighvibenation. You can find us on Facebook at The High Vibe Nation. And you can find us on Instagram at The High Vibe Nation. Until Wednesday night, we thank you so much for being here with us. And Adora Evans, thank you so much, my beautiful friend.
Thank you, ladies. You're amazing.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye, everyone.
From everybody here at the High Vibe Nation, we want to say thank you for choosing to raise your vibration. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe. If you need to find us on the web, check us out at www.thehighvibenation.com. highvibenation.com. Looking forward to seeing you on the next episode, and keep high vibing.